You had always dreamed of being a monster hunter, ever since you were little. You had trained all of your life for this, working hard day in and day out, even sometimes pulling all-nighters in your training. However, one day your town was attacked and burnt to the ground. You tried to plead to the Kingdom of Dunce for help, but nobody came. So you packed your bags, loaded them on your back, and hit the road. Being one of the only survivors from your town, it was brutal. You had no one to rely on but yourself. You soon started to travel the wastelands, famous for the amount of death that visited these areas. Not even the Kingdom of Dunce dared to colonize there. As you traveled through the irradiated wasteland, checking on your Geiger counter, you sighed. The radiation levels in this area weren't really that bad. In fact, they were negligent. But still, the kingdom would not come out here, too scared to even bother settling. You got off the main road and sat in the soft dirt, bits of rock and granite under your fingers. As you looked out at the great horizon, you saw the sun setting, and you began to start a fire. Gathering wood and twigs, you easily started it. With a flick of your wrist, fire came from your hand. And just like that, a campfire was born. You sat by it and warmed yourself, and went through your supplies, making sure you were topped up on everything you needed. You sighed. You were running out of food. You needed to find some place to stay soon, or at least find something to kill to eat. You laid down and closed your eyes, hoping tomorrow would be a better day than it was today. Suddenly, you woke up with a start. You jumped up, but nothing came for you. You looked around, scared. That's when you saw a pair of red glowing eyes staring at you, only 10 feet away. You wanted to scream. You went and reached for a gun on your belt, but it wasn't there. You stared at the figure. It smiled at you. You shook in fear. And then it spoke. Howdy, partner. Haven't seen any of you around these parts. Normally humans tend to avoid the main road, you know. What, got nothing to say? I bet you were planning on shooting my face off, weren't you? Don't say I blame you. I look kind of scary at night. Nice gun. Nice model, too. You know, the kind of people that have these guns tend to be monster hunters. And when I was rifling through your bag earlier, happened to find your ID. Oh, don't worry, I don't judge. Some of my kind could be real bastards. I mean, I met this one guy named Gerald. Suck a human dry like 5 seconds. Dude, it was creepy. Like, sure, we need blood, but we don't need to kill the poor bastards. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Name's Gerald. What's yours? He put his hand out, eager to shake yours. You hesitantly grabbed it, not sure where this was going. Silent, eh? Well, that's fine. I'll carry the conversation if I gotta. Now, what's a pretty lass like you doing in a place like this? I mean, come on. Radiated wasteland doesn't seem like the place for you. I mean, it ain't that bad no more. I mean, I can walk out here pretty fine. Just gotta take my meds every once in a while to prevent some poisoning, and I'm perfectly fine. But human in this land, I'm sorry, I shouldn't judge. You probably know what you're doing. but couldn't help notice you're from the town bound south, right? The one that recently got attacked. News has been traveling all over Dunce. Well, I'm sorry about your town, miss. It was a nice place. I was never allowed there, vampire and all, but it did seem like a cool place. Your heart stopped. He was a vampire. You took a step back, letting go of his hand. Oh, lass, I promise, I don't mean you any danger. Trust me, if I wanted to kill you, I would. That didn't help you fear, did it? Look, I don't mean no harm, or anything like that, but I can't help but notice you're out in the open, sleeping. Lass, you should have at least slept in one of these burnt out buildings. I mean, it ain't much protection, but at least you're not surrounded by things that can kill you. I mean, I already killed a few of the roaches before they got to you. You looked to the side, and then you face-palmed. There was about 4 or 5 dead roaches. While they weren't very big, they liked to crawl into your eye sockets and ears and eat you out from the inside. You should be thankful to this stranger. Well, at least you appreciate me somewhat. Anyway, since you're not giving me your name, I'm just gonna call you Lass, alright? I don't try to be rude, but that's all I got to call you. What about darling? Alright, I ain't calling you darling. Don't need to raise your fist in anger like that. Anyway, here's your gun back. So I just took it from you temporarily so you wouldn't shoot me on sight. Didn't really want to die, Well, I don't know if you would have killed me, but it would have been unpleasant for sure. I mean, bullet holes take a hell of a time to regenerate. Now, before we get too busy in this, would you like to travel with me to East? You blinked a few times. Traveling with a vampire did not sound like the smartest idea. On the other hand, you really had no other plans. I'll wait for your response. If you need a second to think about it, that's fine. I understand my kind aren't exactly well liked. I know my kind tend to be, what do you call it, ostracized and scared, the whole, the vampire's gonna come and drain us in our sleep and all that jazz. If you need time to think about it, that's fine. Yeah. He went walking off in a random direction, seemingly checking out the memorial. You smirked. You wondered if he was alive back then. Maybe a question you can ask him later. Were you seriously considering traveling with him, you thought? You sat there for a few minutes, staring up at the night sky, it cascaded by fog and blight. You then sighed as you stood up, dusted yourself off, and then walked right up to him. Oh, hey lass. I wonder what this memorial was for. I see this man riding a giant horse, and I gotta think, he must have been some cool dude. I mean, when was the last time you saw a horse that wasn't a centaur? You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, I have not seen a regular horse in, years. Was I alive before all this stuff? Oh, heavens, no. No, I ain't that old. Let's see. I was living in Dunce at the time, and the previous king was, he was an alright fella. I was actually, believe it or not, I was actually a baker. Really good at baking cake and all that stuff, but when the hollow flower infection started going rapid, you see, one of my neighbors, he was what you would call a mind flare. Anyway, he got his tentacles around me, and I was pretty sure I was gonna die. He had the old yellow jizz coming out of his face and spurting it all over me. And, he happened to be shot in the head, but that didn't quite put him down, and then they shot a few more into him. Well, after that, laying on the ground, near death, bleeding out into the dirt, and, well, this vampire took pity on me. He fed me his blood, and, here I am. He disappeared into the wasteland, though. Never saw him again. But I'm alive, so I like to consider that, a mercy, I guess. Anyway, have you made your decision on traveling with me with or not? Oh, alright, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. If you want to travel and you want to keep my distance, I can do that. You want me to keep 20 feet in front, or how do you want to do this? Or 20 feet in the back? In front, alright, I can do in front. Just, oh, here. What is it? It's, how do I explain this? Alright, so vampires have a bit of a reputation for being very lightning fast. Anyway, to make it feel better, this is what's known as a knife. It's made from that weird rock that shines when you put it in the moonlight. Anyway, it hurts like hell if you hit it with a vampire or any undead creatures, so keep that handy. I don't know, it's in the shape of a cross and the bottom of it's all stabby, but I have no idea what that means or why it burns like hell. But yeah, that's why I'm handling it with this towel here. It'll burn the hell out of my hand. If it makes you feel bad, you can hold on to that. Oh, right. Well, I'm going east because that's where I believe this fella's name is Arthur, or no, what's his name? It's a Spider-Man, like a Drider. Yeah, Drider. That's what the name is. Oh, what's his name? It's escaping me right now. I don't know. He borders nuts right on the edge of the desert. I don't know why the name is escaping me right now. Jeez, I'm struggling. Something with an A. Oh, no, not Arthur. That's the dragon fella. Ifor? No. Ior. That's his name. Ior. Yeah. I think that's what it is. Sorry about that. I'm just bad with names. You understand, lass? Anyway, ready to travel? That's good. Oh, before we get going, make sure you cover your face. Yeah. Oh, and here. Breathe that in when you need a bit of a refresher. The air out here ain't exactly pleasant. Anyway, let's get going. What? Oh, last time I ate, I don't know, a couple days ago, met this man that tried to shoot me in the back, but I let him live. Didn't go right for him. Nope. I drained him dry. Not exactly proud of it, but keeps me fed for a while. I'll kill you if you try shooting me. Well, I'll defend myself, and if I gotta, yeah. But I'm hoping it won't come to that. I mean, I'm no pushover. Anyway, come on, let's not dwell on such dark thoughts, eh? You suddenly felt very uneasy around this vampire, Gerald. Oh, right, the kingdom's name. Well, I do believe it's part of nuns, so I don't think that's very relevant, but if you make me try to remember, I'm going to be here for another 20 minutes trying to remember. Alright, let's just get there. Maybe we can ask a trader or something on the way, and he'll tell us. What town am I from? Well, I'm actually from the capital, believe it or not. Yeah, Dunborough. I used to live there full time, but once I got turned into a vampire, they were a lot less hospitable. Not violent or anything, but it's hard to make a living when everyone's thinking you're gonna kill them. Pretty soon I moved out of there and moved to the outskirts, where people of my kind are a bit more accepted. I mean, we're still not loved, but at least I can buy stuff and not have people scowling at me from across the room. What's my plans after all this? Probably live there for a few years and then move on. I don't know. I don't really stay in one place for too long, lass. I have a bit of wanderlust, you see. I don't like to stay in one place. I don't know, I get that itch and I gotta scratch, you know what I'm saying? Gotta move. That and I need to eat, and places don't really take too kindly if you feed off them. You know, people tend to get a little uppity about that. And I can't say I blame them. I mean, I've never tried to kill anybody when I'm feeding recreationally, but, you know, it's not like you can meet up somebody and they'll be like, hey, feed off me. No, it's more like, hey, you fed off me. I want to kill you, son of a bitch. You know, it's kind of a whole deal. Anyway, come on. You two travel for days, wandering endlessly. Soon the nasty fog seems to go away as he leads you out of the wastelands. Your heart seems to settle as you find a wonderful place. You see farmland in the distance. You see an inner city bustling. And you see the desert sand in the distance. It truly was just on the edge of a desert. You smiled. You were finally somewhere you could eat. You felt your stomach grumble, which caught Gerald's attention. Oh, lass, are you hungry? I'm sorry. I should have thought about that. I forget you humans need to eat a lot more than us vampires. Oh, yeah, you don't drink blood, do you? You like, them, solid foods, right? Yeah, you like them solid foods. Here, I can probably get you something. I got a bit of coins in my pouch. Here, follow me, we'll go into the marketplace. What do you like to eat anyway? I haven't been a human in years, so I have no idea. I mean, back in my day, food was like, you know, get some raw steak and cook it yourself. But nowadays, it's all that food processed crap. What do you guys call it? Mac and cheese and stuff like that? I don't know. Last human I met tried to talk to me about food, and I just didn't get it. I'm talking about a whole bunch of terms I didn't get. How old am I? I don't know, quite a bit. I have no real reference for it. I mean, when was the last time you saw a calendar, lass? What's a calendar? My point exactly. Alright. Here we are. A nice stall with, is this edible for you? Can you eat this crap? Alright, you can. Okay, let's see what we got here. How much for the pig? What? How much for the pig? I want to buy the pig. You're a vampire. What do you need for the pig for? I would like to buy the pig. Alright, I got my trusty human companion here, and they are hungry. So I like to buy the pig. Alright, 50 gold. 50 gold? What do you think I am, made of money? 25 gold. Deal. There you go, you got a pig, go cook it. Well, you want me to cook the pig. Do you know how bad of an idea that is? I haven't cooked food in like 100, 200 years. You think I'd honestly be good at cooking food? Honestly, I think if you don't want food poisoning, you better do it yourself. I can help you butcher the thing, but I don't think I'd be that good at, What do you mean you don't want to butcher it? It's a pig. I got it for you to eat. We are not keeping the pig as a pet. Why are you being so frustrated? The pig won't survive. But do you know what kind of world we live in? That's a farm animal. But, fine, you keep the pig, but I ain't caring for the stupid thing. Gerald seemed to get annoyed at your pig stuff. And by the way, next time you want food, you get it yourself. I'm trying to be nice, but buy something and you don't eat it. It's rude. He seemed to be annoyed at this moment. He decided to stop questioning him for a few moments. As he walked around town, he seemed to buy things as he needed. Weapons, ammo, you name it. You two soon came upon an inn. Alright, this'll work. Alright, lass, I'm gonna cover your room, but just for tonight, got it? What? Stay in my room? Why would you want to do that? Cheaper. I guess I can't argue about saving money. If you don't mind seeing me a little indecent. You thought about it. You'd seen men before. This would not be shocking to you. Alright. But don't say I didn't warn you. Hello, Winky. Would like a room, please. A vampire and a human. Okay. Could I just buy the room? Like, rent a room for the night? Yeah, you can have a room. Are you high, son? No. I just speak like this. What is that? Why are you speaking like that? I have ASMR sickness. Well, what is it contagious? No. I just am milking watch time. I have no idea what you're saying, son. Could I just rent the room now, please? Of course. That will be... I'm just gonna give you 10 coins. There you go. Have a good day. That's too much. Keep the change. Oh, filthy animals. God, that bothers me. I hate it when people waste my time. Anyway, come on. Sorry, I have to clear my throat a lot. I'm a little dry. Now, come on, sit up with me. Come on. Into the room. And shut the door, and we're barricading it. Aha. Why? Because you don't know who wants to call in. Besides, trust me, you do not want the kind of company that come in these parts to come in your room. People are not friendly here. Now, I'm gonna lay on this bed and you can do whatever you want. I don't really care. I'm gonna read my book. What's it about? Well, I don't know if you'd understand. You'll try. Alright. Well, to make a long story short, this book is about history. Well, history before everything we know now. Before Gaia and all that crap, with her, I guess technically, resetting the earth into Gaia and all that stuff. Anyway, I was curious what humans were like before, all this crap, and, I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of interesting. They had things called phones and TVs and all that crap. Looking into this stuff, they had like whole libraries full of stuff. Well, we have libraries now, but their libraries are different. Look at this. Look at all these organized books and shelves. And it was open to the public. It wasn't like private like it is nowadays. Doesn't that seem interesting? Oh, and don't get me wrong. Look at this. Look how cool this is. Look at that. That's a car. Imagine what it'd be like to drive one of those things. See that person? Their hair's flying back. It's like a horse. But instead they say it has like 1,000 horsepower. I don't even know what that means. Is it like 1,000 many horses in the thing? But how do you fit that many horses in that small of a car? Like, you get what I'm saying, right? Yeah, it's insane. And then look at this. Look at this. That is a robot. From like all those comics I found, they were real. Those are real robots. And that is such a cool thing. Although they call them androids. That's what they call them. Which I mean, I've seen like maybe one in my lifetime, and that thing was broken, like beyond repair. And even if I knew how to repair it, I don't think it would have made much of a difference. Still, this just seems really cool, right? It's like an encyclopedia for like the old world. I mean, look, this is what a place called United States used to be like. Isn't that really cool? I think so. And there's lots of things I'm able to learn, like where Dunsparrow is, the capital of Dunce. Fun fact, did you know, sorry, did you know that Dunsparrow is technically what's called Alabama? I had no idea about that. That's what the place used to be called. Or Arthur's place is where Washington D.C. used to be, and just stuff like that. It's just really cool. What's Washington D.C.? Oh, it was like what I call the government of the U.S. United States of America used to run all of its stuff. Kind of like what Dunsparrow is nowadays. Although, apparently back in the old world, the kingdoms didn't fight amongst each other. They all worked together, and they were called states. I don't know, I just find this stuff really cool. Although I don't know how much of this is actually true. Apparently to this, vampires were folklore, and well, as you can see, I'm quite real, so and some of this you could probably take with a grain of salt. What else is in this book? It talks about a place named California. It's a place I'd like to go someday. Apparently it's on the West Coast. Yeah, that's where the kingdom of Ariartha has been setting up camps. Because Dunce and Ariartha has been collaborating lately, trying to colonize the West Coast. And it's been really interesting, I won't lie. I'd love to go down there and see what they're doing. Although that'd take like months to journey down there. Where am I heading right now? Well, like I said before, I'm just gonna stay in this town and get all comfy and nice. You wanna go places? Well, I don't know. It might be a little hard to travel, with the whole scary stuff. You want me to stay in town? Well, I'll be here for a few years probably, so, I'll be around. Maybe I'll actually buy a piece of property out here, who knows? I mean, I'll eventually end up selling it, but it'd be nice to have a place to put my head down for a while. You ever plan to go petition the king? Good luck. I mean, lass, look, there's no chance in hell you're getting anywhere near the king. Even if you did, I doubt he'd listen to you. I mean, I heard the prince is pretty worth talking to, but again, good luck. Not to be rude or nothing, but I just don't see it happening. Well, then I wish you the best of luck. Anyway, I'm getting to sleep. Oh, and if you do plan on leaving, can you barricade the door? I don't want any weirdos coming in here and trying to kill me. Alright, lass. Good night. He watched him lay on his side and close his eyes. He could have sworn vampires were nocturnal, but maybe he was just tired from generally running around a lot. Who could say? He looked out the window and looked upon the kingdom once again. It looks like such a sunny place. Why did he seem so off-put by its residents? Maybe he knew something you didn't? You sighed and looked at the mattress, rolling in next to him, and the vampire's red eyes opened wide in front of you. What you doing, lass? Going to bed. The floor's right there, Cuddles? I ain't into any old cuddles. You can go do your own thing on your side of the bed, but I'm staying right here. He turned away from you. All friendly, he didn't seem the most affectionate type. Regardless, you still wrapped your arms around him, much to his annoyance. I said I didn't want cuddles. I don't know you like that. Pushy little man, ain't you? You know, any other vampire would have killed you by now. Just saying. But alright. I'll let you hug me, I get. No, thighs, stay to yourself. I ain't like that. He closed his eyes once again and gently breathed. You just continued hugging into his chest, smirking to yourself. Soon morning hit, and you sighed. As you got up, you looked around. There was truly nothing to do. You looked over at your vampire friend, who was picking his skin. You shook your head and pretended not to see him doing that. You got up and stretched and looked through your bag for a fresh set of clothes to put on. When you started to change, the vampire went beet red and turned around. Lass, what are you doing? I'm in the room with you. Well, I know technically we're not the same species, but we're species adjacent. Can you change in the bathroom, please? You blinked a few times, and then shrugged as you walked your butt back into the bathroom. Thank you. Gosh, a woman these days. It's like they don't understand what modesty is. Alright, Gerald, back to it. Stupid tattoo. How'd I ever get this damn thing? Ugh. There we go. Peeled it right up. Damn it. Regeneration. A boon and a bastard. Why does it regenerate the damn tattoo? No, you're back. Nice outfit. Brought you a bit overdressed. Well, I mean, it's kind of warm here. You might get heat stroke or something. He said this as he looked at you. You were currently wearing a giant leather outfit. Leather coat with jeans and big boots. You had planned on going further north into the winter, but as it stood, this was the only clean clothes of pairs you had. I see. Well, helpful. And I still don't have your name, lass. You mind giving it to me now? You've been traveling for a day, you know. You shook your head. Fine, keep your secrets. But I will get your name eventually. You have my word on that. Anyway, come on, we need to explore the town. Why? Because I'm looking for work. And you're just not going to sit on your ass. You're helping me. Oh, yes, you are. You're going to get your hands dirty, lass. Now, come on. He grabbed you by the wrist as you tried to pull away. He was very, very strong. You forgot just how strong vampires were. Thankfully, he didn't really seem to want to hurt you, as his grip never became uncomfortable, but it was firm. You tried to punch his chest and ended up hurting your hand. Lass, I'm a vampire. Remember? Now come on. You sighed and eventually started walking with him as you yanked your hand out of his and crossed your arms. No way to treat a lady. You don't know me very well. Anyway, come on. You two walked down to the local bounty office and looked at the board. Then your eyes widened. He was a bounty hunter. Of course he was a bounty hunter. What did you expect? Alright, let's see what we got on the flavor today. This'll do. Since I'm tagging you along, we should go for an easy one. Here is why. This was certainly not an easy one. What? You tell me you can't handle yourself? Relax, I gotta shoot its eyes out. Demigorgons aren't hard. Oh, don't scream like that. You're gonna hurt my ears. Look, see this gun on your hip? That thing, you aim it at one of its eyes, you shoot it out, and it basically folds like a paper towel. It ain't hard. Besides, it's wanted dead for like 200 gold. That's enough, lass, to get you a new set of clothes. Cause this is just straight ridiculous. You look like you're the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Of course you don't get that reference, damn young people. Alright, come on. He yanked you by the arm again, which you then slapped him across the face. What was that for? Yanking you? Fine, I'll let you walk on your own. Anyway, come on. He then started walking off with his hands in his pockets. For as friendly as he was, he could be a bit of a brute. As you walked, soon that beautiful town came farther away, and your heart wrenched. You didn't want to leave it. But you sighed and walked with him. Soon enough, he came across an open valley. An open valley with nothing in it, which was wrong and eerie. Normally there'd be some type of creature, some mutants or birds or something. But there was nothing here. Instead, just you, Gerald, and the wind. Alright, lass. According to this, the demigorgon's somewhere in this area. Now, based on what we know about them, they can't burrow, meaning they're hiding in the grass. I know of one good way to flush them out, but since you're with me, I can't do it, because you'll burn to death. So, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use you as bait. You eyes looked wide. He was certainly not gonna use you as bait. You tried to run, which then he grabbed you by the back of your leather hood. Lass, I'm not gonna let you die. Alright, I'm a good shot. Besides, silencer. Very accurate. Now come on, get out there. He then shoved you into the grass. You cursed him out. You know, lass, those words ain't befitting of you. Besides, like I said, ain't gonna let you die, ain't gonna hurt you. You're gonna be perfectly fine. Now, stand up and walk into the grass. I got you. You gulped and steadily walked out into the grass, taking each tentative step in front of the other. As you then got out, you started hearing rustling, but it seemed he heard it first, and he smirked. He knew where it was. You wanted to turn around and run at him, but just before you could, the creature jumped out from behind you. A being that looked like it had a flower for a head, flesh oozing from it, blood and guts and mucus spreading all over you. You screamed and screeched as it jumped out to get you. And then, Gerald was in front of you, pinning it down. And with one swift motion of his hand, it was dead. He smashed its head in, blood smearing all over him and you. Didn't I tell you I had an handle? You backed and fell on your ass. You looked at them eyes wide. You didn't understand just how fast he was. How was he that fast and strong? That's abnormal for a vampire. There was something more to him. Alright, little hunter, little lass. Come on, get up. Relax, I'll carry the carcass. But I think we both need a bath. You crossed your arms. Is that seriously what he's thinking about right now? He just killed one of the most dangerous creatures you could find out in the wild, and he's super casual. You sighed and patted your head. You could not believe you made friends with this guy. Alright, lass. Come on along. We got a long day ahead of us. Well, mostly a long walking distance. I'm not as fast when I gotta carry some weight. And I like the scenery. So come along. You shrugged and followed him. Honestly, you had nothing better to do. As you walked along, you saw its serpentine body dragging behind him. Such a creepy figure. Soon enough, you reached town again, and most of the townspeople grasped when they saw him carrying a giant demigorgon corpse on his back. He then dropped it in front of the bounty center and smirked. Got your bounty, now give me my money. They gulped and handed him 200 coins into his bloody hands. He then turned around at you and dropped the coins in your hand, which then you proceeded to fall to the floor because of the sheer weight of them. Oops, sorry about that, lass. Forgot you humans ain't strong. Here, I'll grab it. You wanted to curse him out again, but you didn't. Anyway, I guess the point is, he's 200 gold coins for you, lass. Get your life started up and all that stuff. You went wide-eyed. He was not taking any of the bounty for himself. You asked him why. Well, lass, your home got burnt down. You got no family to speak of, no skills, and you're kind of a liability on the road. No offense. So if I give you enough gold to start a new home here, then, well, you'll be alive. Ain't that swell? You blinked a few times. You couldn't believe this. You looked at the gold. Then you looked at him. Then you closed your eyes. You could stay here. You could make a new home. But you wanted revenge on the bastards who burned your town. More importantly, you didn't want to be alone. You closed your eyes and looked at him and demanded he took you with him. What? Why? Why no? What? He seemed completely speechless. I'm offering you, like, life on a silver platter. I don't understand why you'd refuse that. So, little hunter, you want to be part of me, my little squad? Well, I'm only one guy and you're one girl, so I guess it'd be more of a duo than a squad, but what am I soloing for duo? That sounds tempting, but you got no skills to speak of, lass. You told him you could learn if he taught you. You told him you would get better. You would be better. You would be the strongest, the best bounty hunter, and the best monster hunter the world had ever seen. Train you to hunt my kind. Well, to be honest, I don't really like my kind that much. They're kind of old dicks, and jerks, and sadists. I mean, it's kind of hard to keep your humanity when you keep distancing yourself from it. Maybe having a little human around wouldn't be so bad. Remind me of the good old times. Alright, lass, you got a deal. But I'll make one thing perfectly clear. If you ever shoot me in the back or betray me, you're gonna have a bad time, alright? I take these packs kinda seriously. Very seriously. So I'm gonna ask you one more time. Are you sure? Ain't it against your vows to team up with a monster like me? You gulped and then spoke up. He wasn't a monster. He barely counted as one. although you admitted you were scared of him in some aspects. At least you're honest. Well, I suppose it's a deal then. He took his hand out. Still bloody. Yours were also bloody. As both hands met, it splattered blood all over the dusty dirt. He then smiled and said, well, step one of sealing the pact is done, lass. You tilted your head. Now time for step two. You then felt paralyzed as his eyes met yours. You couldn't move. His teeth then came out of his mouth. Your eyes went wide. No, you thought. He then pierced his fangs right into your neck, right in front of the bounty office. This idiot, you thought. He drank about 1 gulp worth of blood from you. Delicious. That's our pact sealed, lass. Congratulations. You're now my bounty partner. You held your neck and yelled at him, screaming, what the fuck? What? I can think of no better way to seal a pact than with a gulp of blood. Relax, it didn't even take that much. It took like a droplet, maybe less. Besides, those fang marks mark you as mine. Means no other bounty hunters are gonna get any ideas about putting one in your skull. You should be thanking me. You're gonna stay alive longer. Plus, Carvin gives you some prestige. I know, should have asked. But I wasn't planning on drinking for my needs. I drank it mostly just to, well, mark you. And relax, if you ever want to back out, I can get rid of the mark. It just keeps you safe from those who would otherwise be a bit more dangerous than I am. Now, lass, let's say we go get a couple drinks and celebrate our little hunt. After our bath, of course. I think we both stink with the smell of copper and smell of dirt. And sweat, of course. Well, you have the smell of sweat. I don't really sweat no more. Alright, sounds like a plan. I'll meet you at the hot tubs. I gotta go, secure our cash. Be right back. As he walked off, you started to explore the town. Still caked in blood. You smacked your head. He was such an idiot. He's lucky the bounty people didn't try to kill him just then. Perhaps they were used to his shenanigans. You then found the hot tub area and smiled. As you walked into the building, he was at the receptionist counter, arguing with them. No, I mean I want separate baths. Separate. I said one for my friend and one for me. Is that hard to understand? Sir. I understand what you're saying. But we only have one bath open. No, I understand what you're saying. What you're saying is because some bastard ordered the other hot tubs all for himself, we can't have 2 separate ones. What is the big deal? They are your friend, right? So what does it matter if you see them naked? Because they are a woman, you dumbass. Why does that matter? Because they have tits and other parts that are not part of the male part. There's a reason that man and woman have different bathrooms. That's different though. No, it is not. Am I the only one who remembers back in the day when we had separate bathrooms and separate baths? Am I the only one who remembers that? Sir, that was like 200 years, 300 years ago. I wasn't even born until like 20 years ago. Ugh, I can't get past young people. Fine. One bath, whatever. Alright, that'll be 30 gold. Here. Alright. Baths are to the left. Oh, I'm assuming you're the lady he was talking about. On the left. Oh, yeah, you can change in there too. Don't worry about it. The man passed you off. As you walked into the baths, you were able to see Gerald staring at a mirror, sighing. Oh God, I cannot believe I'm doing this. Oh, hey, oh, turn it around. Why are you taking off your shirt? To get in the bath. Okay, yeah, I get it. You get in first, all right? You get in the bath first. The water should be steamy and not clear, so I won't be able to see underneath it. Don't worry. Why is that concerning? Don't worry about it. I don't think you'll understand. Go, these new people. Alright, Jared, you can do this. You just don't be a pervert. Just take off your shirt, take off your pants, and get in the water. And it's not going to be awkward, because you're a good fella who's respectful of women and their bodies. Yes, Gerald, you can do this. You're a good man, Gerald. Good man. Your parents taught you right. Or at least they would have if they were in the picture. The social norms taught you right. Alright. On comes the shirt and the pants and... Oh God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Alright, Joe, just gonna go in backwards. They don't mind if they see ass. Everyone has an ass. Alright, you close your eyes, lass, please. Thank you. I'm just gonna get in the water and there. Now I'm in the water and you can't see anything. Alright? It's blind, it's deaf, it's invisible. Isn't this nice, lass? Nice hot warm water and we can wash the blood off ourselves. Why am I bleed red? Well, don't worry about it, lass. I don't think you would understand if I told you. You question him about it, confused. Alright, I'll try. Back in my time, ladies and men, they got embarrassed when they saw each other in this vulnerable state and in this intimate of a setting. And what you see back in my time, women's the chest parts were a bit more coveted and they're a bit more protected. And back in my time, it was customary for people to cover themselves and only show those parts to partners and something the like. Well, yeah, I know I'm your partner, but not the partner that I mean. Back in my day, partner meant like, that kind of partner meant like someone you were dating or somebody you were going to spend the rest of your life with. You know? You tilted your head. You had no idea what he was talking about. But you let it pass. Maybe he was just too old for you to understand. Anyway, lass, how do you like the warm water? You smiled and gave him a thumbs up. Good. Yeah, the warm water feels nice on my skin. It's been a minute since I've had a bath. I can tell it's probably stinky, huh? You nodded your head. Well, we can solve that now. Right, I'm just gonna turn around so I'm not looking at you. Hope you don't mind. You then got close and put your hand on his shoulder. Hey, don't do that, lass. I can feel your, I don't like that. You questioned him more. I'm just not one for intimacy, alright? I don't like it. Can we just stick to your side and I'll stick to my side? Please? You begrudgingly went back to your side. You could not understand this man at all. Most people would be throwing themselves at you at this point. if they were like this with you. But him, he just stuck to his side of the pool and stared at the ground. He was as awkward as it gets. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm done cleaning. I'm just gonna go. You're holding my hand, lass. Can you please let go? You need help with what? I don't think I can help with anything, lass. Hunter, I'm your back. Your back. Yeah, my back. Well, I just don't usually get it. It's kind of hard to reach. And all right. I'm getting back in the water. I can't believe I'm doing this. Jesus Christ. All right. Oh, praise God. This is ridiculous. All right. I'm gonna grab this scrunchie thing, and I'm just gonna press it against your back, and like this, I'm just gonna scrub all the junk right off. Do you mind if I'm this close? Right. I'm the one to hang up. Right. All right. I'm done with your back. I'm done. I'm not going that low. You can do your own backside. I ain't touching that. No. I don't need help with mine. I'm fine. I'm quite fine. I'm gonna get out of the water now. You enjoy yourself. I'll be back at the motel if you need me. You questioned his head and asked him what a motel was. Oh, I mean the inn. It's the same thing. He sighed. He really was just an old man. You continued to clean yourself for about 10 more minutes before getting out and cleaning yourself. After you dried off, you put your clothes back on and followed after him. As you left the hot area, you saw the receptionist wave you off. Still looking like you had a cold, dead stare. As you were making your way back to the inn, you saw an escalation in the streets. You wanted to go see what they were doing. Get off me, you frickin' freak. What is your problem? I do not want anything to do with you freaks. What? I live here. You can't just take my keys. Yes, I can. This is for humans only. Are you kidding me? I will get the landlord. You could have your keys back. Thank you. God, some people. Oh, you saw that. You were now looking at some weird thing. It was made of slime and yet had spider legs. You were wondering what the hell this thing was. And then you said it out loud. Rude. But I'm what's known as a slime drider. What happens when a drider and a slime, get it on? Anyway, I'm just heading inside. Oh, my name? It's Gudra. Nice to meet you. He then went inside of his house. You blinked a few times. Such strange creatures, you thought. You then ran right back to the inn. As you went inside the inn, you saw Gerald holding his head over the bed. Was this about the cleaning incident, you thought? You sat down next to him and checked on him. Sorry, I didn't see you come in. I was zoning out a bit. Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm not used to that kind of stuff we did at the washing place. Sorry. Anyway, it's, what? What? What happened to my family? If you don't mind hearing a dark story, I can tell you. Well, like I told you before, I was attacked by a mind flayer and during the middle of the hollow flower infection. Anyway, after I was turned into a vamp, I went to go seek out my family. I was still really out of it, freshly turned and obviously critically wounded. Anyway, I made myself into the home and, well, let's just say my family didn't take too kindly to me being a vamp. I tried to reason with them, told them this was a brand new thing that just happened, but they didn't believe me. I was chased off, and pretty soon they sent hunters after me. I was running for my life for days. Eventually, the hunters stopped giving chase after I ran far away enough. And actually, funny enough, I ended up running right into the kingdom of Gaia. They took me in with open arms and trained me. I ended up joining the Crusaders, actually, for a little bit. I was actually a knight, believe it or not. Yeah, though that didn't last too long. See, a person down there named Naga, god of medicine and healing, ran into them once. They didn't like the undead too much. And pretty soon, I was chased out of Gaia. After being chased out of both countries, I went back home. Well, back to my home country anyway. Where then I took up life as a bounty hunter. It was bad at first, but it was alright. After I had built a bit of a reputation for myself and was allowed into most places thanks to being good at my job, I tried going home. Even got a special card from the guards saying I was allowed to be there. Well, family, by the time I got there, they had been brutally killed. And a new family had taken over my home. The king of Dunce, he offered, Seraph, he offered for me to get my home back, but I couldn't kick out that whole family. They had kids. Apparently what had happened was after I was chased out, hollow flower infection was still wildly going on apparently in the underground areas, and well, one of them slimes made their way up and they got my family. Absorbed them and digested them into nothing. The only thing that was left over was bones and clothes. Such a brutal fate. It's water under the bridge at this point. I mean, the slime wasn't controlling their actions. Still killed them though. Had to get vengeance. But yeah, after that I just started traveling from place to place, and that's just kind of how my life's been since the last 200 years. Haven't really slowed down or nothing. Actually, fun fact is, I actually thinking of coming to your town. But obviously it burned down, so never got the opportunity. What happened anyway? You were there, right? So you could tell me, right? If you don't want to, I get that. You seem to keep secrets pretty close, but I do want to know. I had a friend there, you see. I was planning on visiting. I just want to know if they made it out alright, or if I should go there and bury them, or if there's anything left to bury. You sighed and patted his thigh. He looked away, slightly uncomfortable. You then stopped. You then started to recollect about what happened. How one beautiful morning you were sitting there on your porch, sipping a nice cup of tea. You were looking out at the pastures, seeing the cows in the distance. When all of a sudden, 20 to 30 driders attacked the town. You were just a small hamlet. There was no way you could have protected yourselves. The driders came in and slaughtered people, burning the town to ash. You fearfully tried to run away from them. As you ran, your father jumped in the way and protected you from a lethal shot of one of the Drider's bows. You then ran and ran until you fell down a hill, being knocked out. When you woke sometime later and climbed back up the hill, the town was smoldering ash. You checked for any survivors. There was only one or two, all female. You tried to talk to them, but they were so traumatized they couldn't even get out simple phrases. You came to your old house, now burnt to ash, and scavenged through it for anything you could find, anything you can use, only coming away with a few short food supplies and some clothes. You did the same to the other houses, but there wasn't much to get. Even all the animals had been slaughtered and burnt. The Driders tried to exterminate everyone in this town and make sure it couldn't be rebuilt. That's when you made your way into the wasteland, hoping to find civilization to live at. I see. That's quite a sad story, lass. I'm sorry your town's gone, and your family. I suppose we have that kind of in common, though the capital's still around. Why don't I like affection? It's a longer story. I won't be telling you that today, though. Time for some shut-eye. We had a good bounty today, got a bath, and made a couple new friends. Now, I do think it's time that we get some sleep. After all, no sleep means no meat. Oh, right, you need to eat. Here, have 20 coins. Go get something to eat. I don't care. The vampire then crawled up in bed and put a blanket over him, turning his back to you. You felt bad because of his backstory, but he was still a little bastard. You took the coins and walked into town, making sure to barricade the door before you left, just for him. As you left into the town, you looked around. There was nothing really that looked tasty. You looked down at your pet pig that was walking by your side, still as oinky and squeaky as ever. You smiled at him and pat his head. As you walked into town, you were looking all around, and then spotted something that actually looked appetizing. Mac and cheese. Your eyes watered. Yes, you thought. Finally. You ran as the pig followed behind you. As you jumped into a stool, you put the pig in your lap and looked at the selection. You were so happy. You licked your lips and ordered a bowl of mac and cheese. You stared at the bowl so happily and hungrily as you paid them. You then dug in, feeding a little bit to your pig friend. As you ate and ate and ate until your belly felt full, you looked at the diner man, gave him a smile, and gave him an extra coin, as you then wandered on home, pig in your arms, swinging him around. You were so happy. You finally had food, real food. As you then made your way back into the room, you saw the vampire sleeping, or sleeping, as you put in quotations, as he never really could sleep. But he could rest his eyes. You then laid in bed and wrapped your arms around him again. Lass, I thought we talked about this last night. I'm not into cuddles or affection. You brushed him off and did it anyway. Ugh, whatever. He then laid his head back down and went to sleep. You smiled. He was getting used to this. As you cuddled up into his neck, he pushed your head away with his giant hand. I said I don't like that. Knock it off. You pouted. Why did he have to be such a grouchy, you thought. Then the pig came in bed and cuddled next to you, cuddling into his chest. I can drain you, pig. Knock it off. The pig just oinked at him and settled. God, you're just as stubborn as her. Whatever, I'm going back to bed. He closed his eyes. And you did too. The pig then followed suit. Who would have thought a vampire, a girl, and a pig sharing a bed? Good morning, lass. You sleep all right? Good. Now, we're naming the pig. You were so tired and bewildered as you got up, your head was dizzy. And then you audibly said, what? We're naming the pig. If you're going to keep it as a pet, we got to give the thing a name. You blinked. What would we even name the pig, you thought? And then you said it out loud. I don't know, Saroinks-a-lot, crispy bacon. Ooh, what about this? Pork and beans. You flipped him off. Rude. You got better names? You're not naming it Gerald. That's my name, and I ain't no pig. I eat pigs. Well, I used to eat pigs. Mark the pig. No, I don't think that's a Mark. Oh, I got it. Waddles. Look at it. Look how active Waddles. We got a game with that. Name it Waddles the pig. Are you seriously? I was joking about Waddles. Fine, we're naming it Waddles. Swear, I feel like we're under a shooting star or something like that to name it that pig. Gee. Now we just need some maple syrup. Maybe some pine. That goes so fine with it. I'm not thinking about, totally not thinking about eating a pig. That's not at all what I'm thinking. Anyway. I don't have any major bounties planned for us today, but since we got some gold in our pocket now, it's time to get you some actual clothes that aren't going to cause you to overheat. You've been sweating like a pig, which is weird because I don't think pigs sweat. Anyway, point is, we need to get you clothes that are not like that. Plus, those things don't fit you at all. They're like, how do you breathe in that thing? Anyway, point is, we're gonna get you some clothes, alright? Come on, get out of bed. And we are not taking the pig. The pig stays in the room. No, we are not taking it. We are not buying an outfit for the girl. Fine, it's your money. You're right. We can take the pig. God, it's like I can't win an argument with you ever. You smirked and grabbed the pig in your arms, carrying it. I don't understand you at all. Anyway, you then carried the pig into the mall. Walking along the stalls, you looked around for a night clothing store. And then Gerald pointed one out. What about that place? You shook your head vehemently no. What? You don't like a little spooky decor? What, it's like all goth and all that stuff. Right, you wouldn't know what that is. Oh, it's like black clothes and you're no fun. Fine, we'll find something more light colored. What about that place over there? They got a lot of blue. You like blue? Or yellow? Or cream? What about purple? I see lots of purple. But you'll pick a color, lass. Come on. I mean, how are you a monster hunter and you can't pick fashion? I swear to God. Yeah. Oh, I know. How about this place? Got all kinds of women's fashion in there. Alright, let's head in. Come on. Oh, here we are. And alright. This place is real interesting. Well, yep, that's a bra. That's also a bra. That's a panty. Yep, totally know what those are. Alright, I'm gonna leave you to it. Let me know when you need me and I'll pay for it. To help you? Hell no. You can dress yourself into pig all you want. I want no part of it. You grouchily tried to yell at him, but he just flipped you off and left. He was very, very helpful, you thought. He then started walking around, picking out various clothes for you to wear, trying them on, and then putting them back. You eventually found an outfit you actually liked. A purple dress with jeans you thought looked perfect. He also made sure to put some leather armor underneath, just in case. As you dressed up, you eventually got him and he came back. Oh, you picked out something. What the hell did you do to the pig? He started laughing hysterically as he stared at the pig. I know I was talking about eating the pig earlier, but it's just cruel. You gave a little hat and paint. You're making the pig wear pants? Come on. You smiled and smirked and begged him to buy it. Fine. It seems like a waste of money, but fine. Shopkeep, can I buy can I buy these clothes off them? What? Can I buy the pig? The pig's not for sale. What about the human? Human's also not for sale. I'll give you 500 gold for it. The vampire's eyes light up at the mention of gold, as he then looked at you and looked at the gold, his lip quivering. The human's not for sale. Oh, that's a shame. Well, hope you don't mind. A knife dropped to the floor as the vampire held him by the throat. I said they're not for sale. Now, we're gonna leave with these clothes. You almost had our business. I was gonna pay you some decent cash. But since you wanna be like this, you'll be lucky to leave with your life. The pig and the human are under my protection. And no idiot with a knife is gonna stop me. You're disgusting and nasty. You slavers are all the same. Now I want you to tell your buddy something. I ain't no normal vampire. And if they dare to get near what's mine, I'll break you all. Yes. He then dropped him to the floor like a bag of potatoes. Come on, lass. Let's get out of here and take the pig. You walked out. You just got your own confirmation. He truly was not a normal vampire by his own administration. But you weren't going to press him right now. Your heart was beating incredibly fast. You saw a mood of hesitancy in his eyes when they mentioned the gold. And yet, he resisted. You closed your eyes. You were lucky to have him on your side. Alright, lass. Are you okay? Didn't do anything funny with you while I was gone? Good. Oh, God, those people. Can't fucking stand them. The bane of the existence, I tell you. Slavers. No, alright, I guess you wouldn't be aware of that faction you held up on your hamlet for so long. Well, slavers come in all shapes and sizes. Humans, nagas, really any species, really. They take people against their will and sell them to people that would not respect your boundaries, to put it lightly. They would ravish you. Or use you for labor or whatever. They would force you into things, lass. Real nasty, nasty things. And, well, as much of a pain in the ass as you are, I kinda like you. So, I wasn't gonna let anything like that happen to you. Be thankful. Now, lass, I wonder about something. I was wondering, lass, if, how you doing? I know these last few days have been particularly hard on you. And I haven't exactly been the easiest bastard to get along with, but just, are you okay? You seem to share some genuine concern for you. You weren't sure if it was genuine or not, but you appreciated it. Well, lass, if you're alright, I guess you're alright. Come on, let's get something to eat, huh? You smiled and nodded. You thought that was a good idea. You then followed him into a local restaurant where they were serving iguana. Oh, relax. It's actually pretty good when you give it a shot. Come on, just try it. You looked at the fried lizard. You thought it looked disgusting. But slowly you raised it to your lips and took a bite. You wanted to spit it out immediately. But you chewed and chewed and then swallowed. You thought it was rancid. But it filled up your stomach. Pretty well, actually. You then leaned in for another bite. And then another. And then another. And the more you ate of it, the more it tasted good. You then looked over at your vampire friend who was busy sipping on a cup of blood. You asked him where he got it, and he pointed at the barkeep. Actually, they serve my kind here, so I like coming. They can be a little brutal sometimes, but for the most part, they're good folks. You blinked, and then shrugged. Who are you to say who should serve what? After you finished off your iguana, you laid back, your belly full, and the vampire set a couple coins on the counter. Now that's pretty good. You want to see what I do for fun? You were hesitant to see, but then again, you had nothing going on, so you nodded. And he stood up, threw you over his shoulders like a sack of potatoes. Your eyes went wide as you questioned what the hell he was doing. He then walked into the main room of the bar, set you down on the counter, and handed you a dart. Alright, lass. Shoot at that, board over there. There was a giant circular board with many numbers around it. He asked what it was. Oh, it's a dot board, see? So you want to see that if you want to get that dot in the center, can you get a bullseye for me? I bet money on you. You then got angry. How dare he bet on you? Relax, I'm betting on your success. It's different, I believe in you. You shook your head and then aimed. You then threw the dart as far as you could, hitting bullseye. You smiled and cheered and shoot your fist in the air. Yeah, you go, girl. Now, here you go. You're winning the spoils. He gave you 10 coins. What? You think it would be a lot? These betting games don't pay a lot, but they are fun, aren't they? I can't play, it's cheating. You thought about it, and then realized, yeah, it was cheating. Anyway, dear. Now that we've had our fun, I think we gotta get to work. You shook your head. You thought he had no bounties. Oh, this ain't about bounties, girl. The work we gotta do today? Simple work. Cleaning. Well, when there ain't bounties, we gotta do odd jobs. Mercenaries aren't just bounties. We also just do general work. Now, come on, old lady needs her apartment cleaned. You smacked your face. Of course he recruited you to do this. As you walked along, you soon found the apartment. And it was disgusting. There was rats everywhere. You shrieked and jumped up on the table. Oh, relax, they're just rats. Look, watch. Ta-da, I picked up a rat. Look. Hello, I'm Mr. Rat. Ha ha ha. You screamed at him to throw it away. And so he did. Alright. I'll stop fucking around. But seriously, help me clean this garbage up. You sighed and started helping him. Soon enough, the room was clear, and you looked at him with an angry expression, asking him when he was going to train you like he promised. Relax, miss. I'm going to train you in due time, but we got to do the other stuff first. For example, we got to get rid of that little pea shooter you have. That ain't going to do squat. You pulled out your gun. It was a 9mm. It could do plenty. Oh, not against what we're fighting, miss. Also, that thing's rusted to all hell. I'd be surprised if it functions at all. We gotta get you something new and shiny. He just asked if he could borrow one of his guns, and he flatly said no. Absolutely not. My beauties are pristine. I clean them regularly. I doubt you knew how to clean a gun. You were gonna rebuttal him, but he was right. Now, help me finish cleaning this stuff up. Then after this, I promise I'll show you how to shoot, even if it's with that crappy little thing. You were angry at him, but he wasn't wrong. As soon as you've both finished, he got up, got his gold from the old woman, and left the room. You followed him out into an open field. You asked when he was going to train you, and then he pulled his gun and pointed it to your forehead. See how fast that was, miss? You asked him what the hell he was doing, and then he flatly responded, training you. You need to be fast. Now let's try that again. Move out of the way. He opened his gun, aimed it at your forehead, and you tried to move rapidly. But he just punched you in the nose. See what I mean, dear? Blood started pooling down your lip. You gotta be able to dodge and be fast. I'm hardly the fastest thing out here, and this thing's way more deadlier than I am. You held your face, asking why he just hurt you that way. I'm training you. You asked for it, remember? You asked if you could take it down a notch, and he shook his head. No. Lass, if you're going to survive out here, you need to survive against real nasty creatures. And trust me, I'm hardly the nastiest monster you'll encounter. If you want to stand with me and you want to fight with me, you need to be on my level. And while you can't be a vampire, you need to be able to get close as a human. You stood back up and nodded. You took out your rusty gun and aimed it right at him. Good, lass. Now let's get started. You need to be able to shoot me with me moving. Can you do it? You nodded and took aim and fired, but he dodged. He dodged your bullet. Your eyes went wide. Now, miss, you can't shoot where I am, but where I'm going. Let me show you. He then traveled right, and he shot left as soon as he was going. And he caught the bullet in his hand. Very good, miss. Now, if I wasn't training you, or... Wow, that was good. You fired a second bullet on accident, and shot him right in the gut. Good thing I have regeneration. Oh, it was an accident. Well, happy little accident it is then, huh? You mind helping me for a second? You came close and got a knife out, peeling the bullet right out of his gut. Ooh, thanks, Les. Let's let that regenerate for a second. See, that's why that thing is crap. You didn't even pull the trigger twice and it went off. It's unreliable. What if you're trying to sneak up on someone and it goes off by accident? My point exactly. Now, miss, let's see about getting you some new gear. He wrapped his arm around you and patted you on the back. Now, hear me now, believe me later. When you're buying gear, aim for the mid-range. Don't go high, don't go low, go for mid. If you go for high, you're gonna buy gear you don't need and gear that is ultimately overkill. But if you buy too low, you're gonna buy gear that hardly will be able to kill anything. Alright? If you buy medium, you'll go for most scenarios, and if you need something specialized, you can always get it later. Alright? High is just overkill, low is too low. Alright? Alright, good talk. As you both approached the gunsmith, he thought it looked strange. You asked why the building looked in such disrepair. Now, you see, in this town, guns and weapons aren't very much respected. You see, it's mostly a monster population, so they use their natural abilities to do what they need to do. Some of them have guns, but most of them do not. So a place like this doesn't get a lot of cash flow. Anyway, what you looking for? Well, based on your 9mm, I'm tempted to get you another one of those, but we could go 10. 10's always a fun one. Unless you like rifles, I can get you one of those. I looked at him and questioned what would be best. Well, it depends on the situation. If you're shooting a fast-moving target, pistols are obviously the way to go. But if you have a chance to go long range and you have a chance to sneak up on someone, rifles are the way to go. Of course, if you just want to be loud and proud, you can always use an automatic assault weapon, but personally, for bounty hunting, I wouldn't recommend it. Most bounties you're supposed to take alive, so you want a chance to cripple them, not kill them. You then found the weapon you were looking for. A brand new shiny 9mm weapon. Even with holographic sights built into it, meaning you wouldn't use a laser. You looked at him and begged for it. This is what you want, lass? It'll be good in most situations. Won't kill something like what we fought yesterday, but it'll do. Shopkeep, I'd like to buy this weapon. You would like to buy that weapon? Yes, I'd like to buy it. Alright. Show your credentials. Here. Wow. Taking you a second to look at it, ain't it? Sorry, I'm just in disbelief. It's you? Gerald, the legendary bounty hunter. The Red Death. I don't need any of those names. Now, just hand me my gun. Of course. It was nice doing business with you, sir. Whatever, come on, let's go. Red Death. It's just a nickname I got. Long story short, I was battling these thing of gushers. They're kind of like humans, but they spew acid out of their face, out of a giant hole that used to be that face. Anyway, I killed about 30, 40 of them, and since when I go real fast, my eyes, do the little red streak thing, they call me the Red Death. That, and I'm really good at what I do. Anyway, now, you got a new shiny weapon. You got a tiny bit of experience. We'll do more training later. And you're well set up. I'd say pretty good. Now I'm gonna head back to the inn. You're free to do what you want. You're off for today. He waved his hand and left. You sighed. You then thought about your pig companion and went and grabbed him from the room and smiled at him. As you left, you looked about town. Pig in hand and its wonderful little outfits. You then came across a small little house. Holding wattles in your right arm, you walked right in, not really thinking much about it. After all, it did look abandoned. You were just curious. As you walked in, it was pretty abandoned. Dust on the walls, on the ceilings, on the floor. Looks like no one had been in here in ages. You looked around looking for something to loot. And found... Your eyes went wide. What was that, you thought? You pulled it out of the nasty, dusty clothes. It smelled like mildew in here. And you pulled out a very, very old textbook. You tried to look through it, but the pages were pretty much destroyed. But you did find a key in the pages. As you yanked the key out, it ripped a page out with it. Something about danger, yada yada. You crumpled up the paper and threw it into the corner of the wall. You tested the key on a safe in the corner of the room, and ta-da, it opened, swung wide. As you opened up the safe, you saw a little device in there. It was labeled TC1. You looked at it curiously and put it in your pocket. You had no idea what that thing was, but maybe you can make some money off of it. As you left the mildewy house, you ran back to the room, smiling, but stopped. You heard voices on the other end that wasn't Gerald's. You crouched down and slowly creaked the door open. Their backs were turned to you, and you saw Gerald pinned to the mattress with a stake right above his heart, and a man smiling above him. Where's the miss and the pig? Wouldn't you like to know? The man started stabbing it into his heart. Your eyes went wide. Where is the pig and where's the miss? I'm not telling you a fucking thing. Oh, really? Because if you don't, your heart's gonna get pierced. And you know what happens if I push just a little bit further? You're already bleeding. What happens if I... One of the men dropped dead. Your eyes went wide as you tried to run. You just shot him. Oh, no less. Run! Run like the wind. You ran down the hall and ran down the stairs. One of the men started running after you. You shot bullet after bullet after bullet into him, but he kept running after you. It's like it didn't have any effect on him. What the hell was this thing? Missy. Oh, you should have accepted our deal. You ran as hard as you could, turning a corner and diving under. He tried to grab you. He was so fast, you thought. What the hell? You then saw his teeth, razor sharp. You saw extended hair on his arms and legs. He was transforming mid-run. He was a werewolf. He ran out of town and started running into the field, screaming as he ran after you. No one was helping him. They all ignored what was happening. The man caught up with you fast and tackled you into the grass. He had something in his hand, some type of collar. Now, miss, I think it's time we had a little fun. He tried to put the collar around your neck as you pushed against his hands. but soon he pinned you to the floor, his hot breath cascading on your neck as you screamed, begged someone to help you. This couldn't be happening, you thought. And then, something fast tackled the man into the grass, two creatures tumbling down. Something pale and lengthy pinned the man to the ground. Your eyes went wide. You recognize it's the coat on it. Gerald. What the hell are you? The two creatures fought, slashing, biting, clawing at each other. Blood and guts spewing all over the place. It was violent, gory, and brutal, and probably shouldn't be on YouTube. But at the end of the day, the pale figure got the upper hand. Until the werewolf stabbed a stake right into its gut. It then pinned the vampire down. Gerald was about to die. You backing up into the dirt hill, blood spewing everywhere, coating your legs and thighs. You were hyperventilating. This couldn't be how it ended. It couldn't. Your hand touched your pocket. That thing you picked up earlier. Maybe you could distract them, you thought. Maybe. You closed your eyes. You hoped this would work. You grabbed the device out of your pocket and threw it at the werewolf as hard as you could. It hit the werewolf right in the eyeball. At first, it didn't seem like it did anything except piss him off. As he got off the vampire and started to storm towards you, he stopped dead in his tracks. He held his head and fell backwards, screeching bloody murder. Whatever that thing was, it was making him go nuts. Like a sound he couldn't get out of his ear. Turn it off, please! Your eyes went wide. You pulled out your gun, and without thinking twice, you shot him in the head, blowing it straight off. You gasped and fell on your back. You saw the device nearby. It was shattered when he landed on it. You breathed deep, in and out. He then looked over at the pale figure that had tried to protect you. Gerald. He was bleeding badly. He soon transformed back into his humanoid form, but he was partially naked. You crawled your way over to him. You were hurt just the same, though not lethally, mostly just bruised. Steak. Pull steak out, Les. He was trying to communicate. You then grabbed your both hands around the stake, and he nodded. As he yanked it out, he gasped. Les, I wouldn't normally ask you this, but I need blood right now. Your eyes went wide, and you pointed to your neck, and he nodded. Please, I need it. You quickly got down. Normally you wouldn't do this in a million years, but he'd protect you. He'd kept you safe. He'd made sure you survived. You trusted him. As you bared your neck to him, he didn't waste a second. He sunk his teeth into your neck and pinned you into the grass. You were scared, heart beating so fast. This is the first time you'd really seen him be the predator he was. As he drained you, you felt yourself lose unconsciousness. Your eyes slowly closed, and the world became dark. Soon enough, your eyes fluttered back open. As they did, you saw you were in the same inn as before, but the two bodies were gone. It seems the blood had been cleaned out of the sheets as well, and there was a little note on the side table. As you opened the note, it was a message from him. I'm sorry, lass. I lost control last night. In order for your safety, I've decided to leave without you. If you notice your neck, the marker's gone. I'm sorry, I can't teach you. I'm a monster. But maybe one day we'll meet again and things will be different. But I need to work on my self-control. And being near me is putting you in danger. Accomplish your mission, lass. We'll talk to that king. I'll put in a word for you. And keep working on your shooting here. I want to see you become an excellent monster hunter in your own right. Signed, Gerald. Your hand went up to your neck. It was true. The mark was gone. You gulped and put your hands to your mouth. You also saw Waddles there, curled up into your legs. Inside. At least you still had Waddles, you thought. As you got up out of bed, you stumbled and fell to your knees. Seems you really had drained you pretty badly. You sat on the floor for a while as you regained some type of balance. You drank water and generally got ready for your day, getting dressed. As you made your way out of the room and down the hall, the place was empty. The whole building was empty. There wasn't even a person at the front desk to greet. As you made your way outside, it was nighttime. It seems the world was asleep, but you were not. You took Waddles in hand and started to march up those stairs, getting towards the bright palace in the distance. For some strange reason, each guard did not pay you any mind. They let you walk past each checkpoint, one by one. Did he seriously have this much pull, you thought? You soon came to a large gate, where a thin man greeted you, an eye patch adorning his face. Why, hello, dear visitor. I have been told that your kind is to be accepted here. Oh, you're gonna fit so well in the maid position. I do near the day our dear prince has been desperately needing a maid, and so everybody doesn't want to take the role. I mean, everyone's so scared of him, but I'm sure you'll make him quite happy. Your eyes went wide. First, you're about to object to this, but you saw it as a chance. Maybe if you can talk to the prince, you could talk to the king. You nodded. Excellent, excellent. Guards, open up the door. The giant wide door opened, and you and this strange man walked in. And then the door promptly shut behind you. Oh, relax, dear. This will just be your foreseeable home for the next... Well, I dare ready to leave our service. But, oh, come along, come along. We have so much fun to do. And a prince to meet. You walk down the halls. Down, down, down. And then, here you were. You gulped and looked behind you. It's okay, dear. Just walk in. The prince will be in his bedroom. I'm sure you can find your way there. He then shut the door again. So you were locked inside of a place, locked inside of a place. Not great, you thought. As you walked deeper and deeper into the palace, several maids and butlers walked past you, each in their own set of colors. You thought this looked strange. Some were in blue, some in red, some even in green. But you didn't pay them much mind. Soon enough, you came across the prince himself, sitting alone in his room. And he smiled at you, nervously. Hello, I'm the prince. As you can see, I'm a Drider. It's wonderful to make your acquaintance. You sighed. Of course he was a Drider. Hey guys, it's Proxy. I hope you guys enjoyed this little story. I say little, it's like an hour or 2 hours long. Anyway, this was a setup for the story I really want to tell called The Golden Spider. And I really hope you guys will enjoy it when it comes out soon. Love you guys. See you for the next story.